Hello everyone, I am Natalia Bilbao, and here's what's happening in LA this week. With so many distractions while driving, are we forgetting some basic rules of the road? Los Angeles Fire Department joined with Councilwoman Heather Hutt to remind us that emergency vehicles have the right of way.
We are here today to talk about a really important issue, and that is keeping our firefighters safe so that we can respond to an emergency very quickly, and that's pull to the right when you see an emergency vehicle.
Well, first of all, you have to realize they're headed to an emergency. They're not leisurely driving these big fire trucks or emergency vehicles because they're going to a party. They're headed to a problem, and they're going to save lives. So you need to get out of the way. You do that by pulling over to the right. Don't stop in the middle of the street, pull to the right.
So what the public should do when they hear lights and sirens is to always pay attention to your surroundings. We need you to slow down, we need you to pull to the right and stop, a complete stop. That way our firefighters can move very swiftly and quickly around you to go to the emergency call.
In order for the emergency vehicle to get through efficiently, they need to go down a straight line, right? And they can't do that if they have to go on the other side of the street, maneuver around a parked car. They need to have their own lane so that they can travel safely to their destination. So this is a reminder to pull to the right. Give them a clear pathway to get to the destination. It's an emergency, and they're really trying to solve a problem, save a life. It could be grandma, it could be your house, it could even be you. So let's just move over and give them their space so that they can get to the destination safely and so that they can save lives.
With LA almost always in a drought, conserving water is vital to the city's survival. Mayor Karen Bass joined California state water officials and LA's Department of Water and Power to announce that $19 million would flow to two projects in LA.
We are in the Gateway, the North Gateway, and we're at the residence of Raina and Mike. And this is to kick off a program where we are going to be working with the state of California and DWP to redo water-consuming lawns and turning them into these beautiful drought-tolerant native front yards. And that gives us an opportunity to make sure that we're continuing to do a good job of conserving water, because we know that the droughts will come more consistently and water will be a more precious resource off in the future. This program is an opportunity to go into neighborhoods that sometimes get overlooked, that don't get the same services, and make sure that everyone has an opportunity to convert their front lawn.
We recently received a grant for close to $20 million from the state. The purpose of the grant is to allow us to work with disadvantaged communities. In the past, our program has been basically a rebate. The difference now is that in disadvantaged communities, we'll be able to provide 100% of the funding to replace their water-thirsty lawn with drought-tolerant material. Approximately half of the water that we use in a household is used outdoors irrigating. We're estimating that on average, between 1,000 to 1,500 square feet of turf will be replaced per household. It has the potential of saving around 77 million gallons of water per year, which is a pretty significant amount of savings.
We learned about it online, and the application process was real simple, real smooth. There were online webinars and workshops to go through, and so we got a chance to learn everything and see how to plant, how to install sprinkler, how to remove sod. So it was actually pretty fun and really enjoyable experience.
It's been a tremendous change. We had difficulties keeping up with the maintenance of the existing lawn that we had. And so when we went with the process of removing it and installing the new yard, the new garden, gosh, you know, we're very pleased with it. So it's been a wonderful transformation.
The benefits are not only for us, but for the community, as well as for the whole southwestern United States. We're doing our part to try to conserve water. We're not out maintaining it like we used to be.
$19 million, and we're starting in the one side.
The program is still being put together. We expect at the beginning of 2024, DWP will have all of the rules put in place. But the idea is that we're taking this over $19 million of state money granted to us, and we're going to make sure that we set up program criteria so folks can apply for and get for free the opportunity to rework their front yards, and together we can save the planet. Go to the LADWP website to learn more.
For more information on these projects, visit ladwpnews.com. In downtown LA, community leaders along with council member Kevin DeLeon gathered to dedicate the Willis O. Tyler Square. Willis Tyler was the lawyer who fought for the Bruce family when their land in Manhattan Beach was taken from them in 1924.
3, 2, 1, 0.
We're at the intersection of 2nd Street and Spring Street in downtown Los Angeles, and we're here for the dedication of Willis O. Tyler Square. Now, a lot of folks haven't heard of Willis O. Tyler. They don't know who he is, but this is a very distinguished and important person in our national history, and especially in Los Angeles history.
He represented the Bruce family for Bruce's Beach. And fast forward 100 years, members of our fraternity have represented the Bruce descendants and done so in a way where they were able to get the Bruce property that was illegally taken returned to that family. So we're just immensely delighted to be here today. It's a wonderful occasion.
This dedication serves as a lasting reminder of the impact that one person can have in shaping a more just and inclusive society.
You know, I think what's important is Attorney Tyler, when he was doing the work, he had no idea that 100 years later we would be standing here and erecting a square dedicated to his honor. That's not why he did the work. He did the work because this is what he believed is right. He wanted to have a better society, a more just society, and no matter who we are, no matter what we're doing, if we focus on doing what's right, doing good, seeking justice, advancing the causes that are important to us, that are important to our families, history will remember us, right? And it may not be something that happens in our lifetime or in the near term, but at some point I think we get recognized for the good that we do.
LA Mayor Karen Bass honored Speaker Emerita of the U.S. House of Representatives Nancy Pelosi for her countless contributions to the country. Pelosi has represented San Francisco for more than 36 years. In 2007, she became Speaker of the House and won the role again in 2019.
We're going to get health care reform passed.
The nays are 220. The nays are 215. The bill is passed.
One of the reasons why I was excited to be a member of the Democratic caucus was because then I could watch her leadership in person and have the opportunity to watch a master at work.
Mayor Bass wanted to take a moment to thank Speaker Pelosi for her extraordinary record of leadership of our country. There's been a lot of chaos, obviously, in Washington, especially of late. And I think this was a great moment for us to pause and take a deep breath, celebrate all of Speaker Pelosi's accomplishments, and also, frankly, to remember a time when we had politics that was more normal than we do now.
She essentially had to act as the commander-in-chief while Trump sat in the White House cheering on the vicious attack of our democracy.
Courage. Karen talked about the courage of those voting for the Affordable Care Act. The list goes on and on and on. And no matter what our differences might be, we have common values, and we know why we are there.
When you think about the status of the House of Representatives now under male leadership, and you looked at what we went through with Nancy Pelosi, I don't believe anything like what we're going through would have ever happened under the leadership of Pelosi, and I think her power and her courage has been underestimated.
We have a star. We have a star. For Nancy Pelosi with a gavel in the middle of the star.
I will display this with great pride in Washington, D.C.
Check out banned and challenged books, see the street safety improvements in CD1, and the ad hoc committee moves forward with redistricting. These stories up next on City Beat.
The LA Public Library joined LA City Council to honor Banned Books Week, highlighting the library's work to ensure books are available to everyone. According to the American Library Association, book bans and book challenges are at an all-time high, almost double from last year. The Read Freely initiative, launched on October 1st, is a selection of the most challenged digital books, making them available to readers who are 13 and older. You can create a Read Freely digital card for access to LA Public Library's Libby app to connect to the book collection and other library services. For more information on the initiative, visit lapl.org/read-freely. Local residents in the Pico Union Koreatown are celebrating street safety additions around Barindo Middle School on 12th Street. School students, staff, and parents united to combat dangerous driving and campaign for street safety after an accident left a pupil with injuries. Street improvements include speed limit signs, a red light crossing signal, bollards, curb cuts, and speed bumps in front of the school campus. Councilmember Eunices Hernandez has urged the city to create a dedicated program for installing speed bumps in front of public schools. For more information, visit cd1.lacity.gov. An independent redistricting committee, which will redraw Los Angeles Council district boundaries for future elections, has been unanimously approved by committee. The Ad Hoc Committee for City Governance Reform was created by Council President Paul Krikorian, who took up that role after a leaked audio scandal. Consulting with election reform experts and advocates, the Ad Hoc Committee met 12 times in public sessions at City Hall and in districts throughout Los Angeles. The proposal to form the Independent Redistricting Committee now goes to a full council vote before the amendment can appear on the ballot in November 2024. A second proposal to reduce the size of districts by expanding the number of seats on LA City Council will be taken up at a future Ad Hoc Committee meeting. For more information on the work of LA City Council, visit lacity.gov.
Shatto Rec Center in Koreatown offers a variety of after-school programs. Whether it's for homework assistance, games, or arts and crafts, young people have a safe space to hang out between school and home. Let's take a look.
We're at Shatto Recreation Center with the City of LA Recreation and Parks. We are in the heart of Koreatown, so we service a variety of cultures, a variety of ages. We have programs for ages 2 to 17, and actually right now we're doing adults as well. 2 to 4-year-olds, we have a lot of programming as far as preschool. We do have our Barely Sports, which is all the sports that we're offering the older children. We offer it at a more accommodating space and environment for the younger ones. A lot of the kids come from working parents, and a lot of these parents are not able to get out of work early enough to go pick up their kids. A lot of these parents do need help to help the kids with their schoolwork, so we do have qualified staff that comes in and helps tutor the kids and get them ready for the whole school year. We do our pickups. We pick up from a variety of schools. We go to Commonwealth, Frank Delomo, Sammy Lee. We even pick up from Virgil. These kids come here, they get help with their homework. We give them a nice snack, and we do activities such as arts and crafts. We do games outside. They do get some free play in the playground as well. It's just a lot of interaction, which is great. Just building communities through programs, and that has always been our goal. We get our kids involved since a very young age, and they grow within our program. And a lot of these parents become our coaches, become our volunteers. Some even get hired. And we see a lot of our youth, even when they grow older, they come back with their own families. So it is building actual communities.
And to find the closest recreation center to you, visit laparks.org. Working Latinas earn only 52 cents to every dollar paid to white, non-Hispanic men. Councilwoman Monica Rodriguez recognized Latina Equal Pay Day at City Hall by honoring 2 women fighting for representation and equity in the workforce.
So today we're uplifting a problem that has chronically affected Latinas in the workforce, and that is that we have unequal pay for providing the same amount of labor and work in our economy. Latinas earn on average 52 cents to the dollar compared to white male counterparts in the workforce. And that is something that has contributed to a huge disparity of economic stability in our communities throughout the nation. And so here in Los Angeles, I continue to uplift this information to make sure that we start to take the corrective and intentional actions to help level that playing field.
Today was an amazing day. I was privileged and honored to receive a recognition from the City of Los Angeles from Councilwoman Rodriguez in honor of the work that I and many have done over many years for Latina Equal Pay. We hope that we're able to make the changes necessary, so being able to receive a recognition on top of being able to do that important work, I mean, it's just truly an honor. And I just want all the Latinas to know that this is a movement that we have created together by the millions of Latinas across the country.
It's kind of amazing. I started 21 years ago working with this agency, Women in Non-Traditional Employment Roles, and back then nobody talked about equity in construction and building trades. It was more about this is men's career, and nobody included women. So it's amazing that now other people are talking about it versus only being me talking about it.
I think it's incredibly important to have the City Council recognize the issue because, first of all, this is one of the biggest cities in the entire United States. And so I think it sends a message to other cities that they need to be paying attention to this too. And not just talking about it, but really doing something about it. This pay gap is one that's existed for decades, and it's one that's having a grave impact, not just on Latinas today, but into the future.
It's critically important that we all show up in this space to make sure that we have gender equity, that we have pay equity. Whether you're in a leadership role or whether you are that worker, we must continue to organize, mobilize, and work with intentionality to change this environment for everyone.
A film screening hosted by the LA Civil and Human Rights Department focused on the tough but all too prevalent issues of child labor, sweatshops, and human trafficking. Following the screening, a panel discussion allowed those in attendance to discuss the film's impact.
So we're here tonight in recognition of Hispanic Heritage Month. We are screening a documentary, a movie called Dreamers that's going to raise awareness around the trafficking issues that many, often Latino or migrant communities face. This movie's bringing awareness to that.
As soon as the screening ends, we will actually have a panel of folks to talk about we'll have a couple of our commissioners as well as our director to talk about this story. We need artists like this to stand up. These stories are relevant and these stories need to be heard and need to be told.
Hispanic Heritage Month is very important and it needs to cover all facets of Latino society. So our joy and our pain, our struggles, as well as our victories. And I think seeing a full picture of what the Latino and Hispanic communities go through is really important for the public to know about.
So I wanted to find an issue that affects all of us, because I can guarantee you, even if you have clothes that are made in America, that you have a piece of clothing that was made in a sweatshop by slave labor. When I started researching this topic, I had no idea how much bonded labor is in California. Ever since we've had this crazy border issue now for the last couple of years, people don't know that a lot of the people that were let into the country were actually transported to traffickers. So I feel like we need to really understand, and we need to take a hard look at how bad it is. It could be happening next door at your house. Literally downtown, there are places that have been busted. Obviously focusing on raising awareness and the changes that we need to make in society, I mean, that's where film could really benefit, you know, and I think this film does that.
From food desert to farmers market, residents of Council District 9 are celebrating 20 years of the farmers market in their community. Fresh food and produce are available every Thursday, but came with a side of fun for the 20th anniversary.
We're celebrating the 20th anniversary of our farmers market. This has really been a real lifeblood in our community. Every Thursday we've got a chance for fresh fruits, vegetables, information, and we're celebrating 20 years of service here today.
The market has been in this area since 2003 and has been kind of a main staple for the community in terms of bringing access to fresh foods and veggies and community resources. And so today we're really excited to be here. The market is situated on the Council District 9 Constituent Center, and so we've gotten a lot of support from them just in terms of like having the space to be able to bring these valuable resources to the community.
These are supporting local farmers in our area, so we're supporting local businesses as well as providing good food options. We live in what we call a food desert, and so opportunities to get the kind of fresh fruits and vegetables that are abundant in other places are sometimes in short supply here. So this event is very, very important. The only regret is it's only one day a week on Thursdays.
Specifically here, this is one of our only markets that are at a constituent center, and so it serves as like the home base for the market, and people, because obviously the council district is so connected to the community, this is just another avenue, I think, to connect them both to like the resources that the council district offers, and also the resources that us as a nonprofit organization can offer out to the community.
Well, in addition to providing fresh fruits and vegetables, we do also provide education to help folks understand and appreciate the importance of fresh fruits and vegetables, and also letting them know where they can get them. And so, we just try. This is an educational program that provides nutrition for the body and the soul. Well, it's a great day to celebrate, and 20 years is a long time, but it's a short time in terms of community health, and we want more of it.
She is the director of LA County's Public Health Department and a familiar face to many. Dr. Barbara Ferrer sat down with Maria Hall-Brown to talk about her team, which provides public health services to the 10 million residents of LA County.
I am delighted to be joined today by the director of the LA Department of Public Health, Dr. Barbara Ferrer. So nice to have you here.
Oh, thanks so much for having me, Maria.
Just even doing my research, it seemed incredibly overwhelming to think about what the Department of Public Health is responsible for. But in general, obviously, we'll get to the enormous issue with the pandemic, but it is so much more than just that. What are the things that you focus on?
There's 4,500 employees, there's almost a $2 billion budget, and we have a huge mandate to make sure that everybody has the resources and opportunities they're going to need to be as healthy as possible. We're really focused on sort of an equity agenda. We all used to think it was about going to the doctor, and that's an important component, don't get me wrong. But so much of what determines our health and our well-being is really rooted in the conditions in which we live. A good example is, 25 years ago, the Public Health Department may have done a huge campaign telling people how important it was to eat healthy. Well, we know that, yes, it's super important for us all to eat healthy, but your ability to eat healthy depends on your access to affordable, healthy foods. So you're going to see a Department of Public Health like ours making sure you have access to affordable, healthy foods, trying to get rid of what we call those food deserts. We're going to worry about climate change. We've got to get clean air. We need clean water. We got to get the lead out of our soil. So you'll see our Public Health Department really working on all fronts.
the issue still exists. So where are we and how are we? I mean, are people still dying from COVID?
Black and brown people still tend to have higher rates of cases, hard to measure now, but higher rates of hospitalizations and higher rates of death than everybody else. We also see that people who live in communities that have higher rates of poverty, same thing. Now we're averaging about 1.5 deaths a day. I mean, you all remember when I reported 300 deaths in a day, 400 deaths in a day. So things are so much better. One thing we learned is we have to protect workers. If there's one place where I feel like we missed at the beginning, it was understanding the disproportionality that was going to play out amongst workers, especially our essential workers, who were never going to go home, who couldn't really distance, who worked in crowded conditions. So for me, the work ahead is let's improve ventilation. We know what a difference good ventilation is going to make, not just for COVID, for other health issues,
Sure.
other respiratory viruses.
And if people want to get information, what is the site that
Yeah,
they
so
go to?
people can go to publichealth.lacounty.gov.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you so much, Dr. Ferrer. And it's really wonderful to have you here with us, and I hope we get to see you again soon.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
In this week's Things to Do, dive into a sea scare at Cabrillo Marine Aquarium, get spooky at Boo at the LA Zoo, and celebrate once more the Hollywood Big Cat P22. All this up next on Things to Do.
Don't miss the best family Halloween party around at the Cabrillo Marine Aquarium. Sea Scare is washing ashore with lots of thrills, chills, and gills. Trick or treat at treat stations, create creepy crafts, enjoy apparitional activities, and do the Monster Mash at the Midnight Party Zone. Be sure to come dressed for the costume contest and bring your own trick or treat bag to enter the free raffle. It promises to be a frightfully good time for the whole family. Sea Scare at Cabrillo Marine Aquarium starts at 7 p.m. on Saturday, October 21st. For more information, visit CabrilloMarineAquarium.org. The Halloween spirit will be in full swing for 2 frightfully fun weekends at the LA Zoo. Revelers will find treat stations throughout the zoo offering wildlife-friendly treats as you come face to face with some of the zoo's most terrifying residents. Enjoy spine-tingling live readings with author-illustrator team Suzanne and Max Lang on Saturdays and the LA Public Library Children's Librarians on Sundays. Admission to Boo at the LA Zoo is included with general zoo admission. Don't forget your costume for Boo at the LA Zoo for 2 frightful weekends, October 21st and 22nd, and October 28th and 29th. Find more information, visit lazoo.org. LA Recreation and Parks invites you to the eagerly awaited P22 Festival, which returns to Southern California as part of the 8th annual Urban Wildlife Week. Known as the Hollywood Cat, P22 was one of the oldest and most famous wild residents of Griffith Park. This year's festival promises something for everyone with captivating exhibits and immersive experiences connecting to the wild world around us. Admission is free and the event is open to the public. Mark your calendars for the 8th annual P22 Festival on Sunday, October 22nd from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. at Griffith Park. For more information on the festival's schedule, lineup, and surprises, visit SaveLACougars.org. And that's a look at some things to do.
And that's all for this edition. I'm Natalia Bilbao, and from all of us here at LA This Week, thank you so much for joining us. You can watch us online anytime at lacityview.org, and we're also on Instagram, Facebook, X, and YouTube. See you next time for more LA This Week.